Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back. Pinky Hooks here on a Tuesday night. I hope everyone had a great day today. I can already tell that this is going to be a super duper slow week. It feels like a Wednesday, but I found out probably 2 hours ago that it's just a Tuesday. And I don't know how to feel about that because I really want this week to go fast. And I I'm just a little sad about it. Like, I just found out 2 hours ago. I wasn't even paying attention all day. I just knew that it was a work day and I had to be at work. Anyway, before I get into this video, if you're new to my channel, please sit in on this random recording that I'm doing, but then go back and check a couple of other ones out. It's a little bit of something for everyone. Speaking of that, I have this friend who said, "How do you have a crochet channel and Shine, you never crochet?" And I was just like, I could believe he called me out like that. He said, "Wow, like, I love Shine Your Pinky Hooks channel, crochet channel, even though she doesn't crochet." I do crochet. And I have to say that to the newer folks because, they probably was just like, "Wait, I saw one of your videos. It was recommended to me, you know. Yeah, and I was just looking at my inventory today and I was just like, oh wow, there's 134 videos, right?" And I was just like, wait. So I go back through the 134. Like, I didn't watch it, but I kind of started, just going through my library and I said, I don't really see. I see crochet videos. I mean, when I say crochet, we're just going to say yarn videos, right? So that includes the yarn reviews and stuff like that, or whips. I don't know. I was kind of concerned myself. I was thinking to myself, maybe my friend is right. But then I tried to explain to him, no, dude, that's what it started off as. Like, when I first started, I thought that's what it was going to be. I wanted it to be that. But again, what had happened was work. I mean, when I started this channel, it was just like work. That's what happened. And I was just like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be this much. I thought I just like hit the record button, like boop, and then be like, yay, and then, I saw that it was so much more. And so what happened was I was just like, oh, wait, I'm not like the rest of some of my fellow creators. A lot of my fellow creators, it's not too many fellow creators in the yarn community that work a full-time job, 5 days a week still, And hey, I can't be mad at you. I cannot be mad at you at all. More power to you. I wish I could just wake up and somebody be like, guess what? YouTube is your full-time job. But then I started thinking, would I be happy if it was my full-time job? I don't know. Anyway, so I'll save more for this part of the conversation later towards the end of the video, because what I really forgot was like, well, I didn't forget, I just got sidetracked. I didn't give an update for the June classes. The June classes, folks. So what happened with the June classes, which of course that was this past Saturday, was the first Saturday of June. Let me see. What did I tell you guys? I said that two of my students, that was Jeanette and Andrea, who, they were in the May class and they were the last two women standing, and they decided to come over into the June class. So for the June class, I'm just doing a quick recap with you guys. I had told the leasing office that I would only do 5 seats. That was not including the 2 that I was bringing over. So four people signed up for the class, right? And then there was 1 tentative. which I don't understand. Well, let me put it like this. They didn't confirm. So basically out of the 4, right? The 4 confirmed, one person that I did not get to meet had told the leasing office, hey, let the instructor know that I won't be there for the first class. And they was like, no, if you don't come for the first class, you cannot join because she is on, regiment, And so the only reason why it was allowed is because apparently the person has some experience, that remains to be seen because I don't know anything. Because, some people will swear they have some experience because, I don't know, maybe, they made a chain. I mean, I guess if they know how to make a chain, I guess they can come to the second class or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea what level that person is at. But anyway, whatever. You know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. If they show up, they show up. And then if they don't show up, then they just going to have to wait until July. And that's if I do a July class. Because I may just want to be like, you know what? Let me just skate through July. But let me tell you. Okay, so Andrea came back. Now, Andrea is the one who y'all saw the pictures of as she successfully made her dishcloth. And oh yeah, and after this video is done, I'm going to post on the community tab. My community tab. The community tab. Y'all know what that community tab is? Where we all in the community go to the tab. Now, I have to sound redundant like that. I have to sound crazy like that so I can pierce it in your mind to go to the community tab. You know what that reminds me of when Christmas Vacation, he was just like, the blessing. Anyway, yeah, go to the community tab because when Andrea came to the Saturday class, Andrea had did another dishcloth. And let me tell y'all something. If y'all thought that first dishcloth that she did, the little pink dishcloth, man, Andrea came back. It's coral. It's like a coral, like a salmon color. That her edges were so straight. I couldn't believe she had did another one. Just like I told you, she had did another one and she had already did the edging. And the only reason why she hadn't finished it off because she said, hey, Shai, I forgot how you told me to finish it off. When I was telling her she needs to just do into a slip stitch, and then cut her wool and then, intertwine it. But I was so proud. I was just like a little mama bear, a little mama peacock, yeah, I was I was just like, okay, Shine, don't be all that proud of yourself. She did the work. Yeah, Andrea. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to let y'all know that Andrea, she's very shy. And she does see the comments. She sees y'all support. She saw the post, she sees all the comments, and she said, I don't want to, she's like, I feel kind of crazy and I don't really want to comment. She's like, so I just go in there and I like everybody's comment. So she is watching, but she's just extremely shy. So yes, so I don't want you to think that I have a rude student, but yeah, she does appreciate all of the support that you guys have given her, and now she is ready. She is gung-ho. She's like, yes, I'm about to do this. So yeah, Andrea went ahead, and so let me just get Andrea portion out of the way. So remember, since I would consider her and Jeanette, well, and more so Andrea, because Jeanette was unable to attend. But, life gets in the way, and that's fine because, again, they have the basics already. So the category that I'm putting Jeanette and Andrea in is beginner advanced. Advanced beginner. That sounds good. That's something I made up. Anyway, yeah, so what I did was I was just like, okay, she has learned her chain, her single crochet, her half double crochet. And so I was just like, you want to learn the double crochet? And sure enough, I just sat there, showed it to her. She got the concept, whatever. And so I told her that was her homework. I said, go ahead and practice on this. And, and knowing Andrea, she's probably at home. She probably done made 2 dishcloths already. Wow, she gonna be like, it's my double crochet. She got it. She got it down. So pretty much I just left her alone. The only thing that I had to show her is that, hey, when you're doing a double crochet and you turn your work, right, you now need to chain up 3 because it counts as your first double crochet. Yay. So yeah, she got the concept and she was just like, cool, so I was able to leave her alone. Now, introducing da 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 da. Drum roll. I hate that thing because I always used to bite my tongue somehow. And then on top of that, I'll be spitting all over the place. So unsanitary. Drum roll. So the introduction to the new 3 students. So there is a lady named Emmy. Emmy is the sweetest little old lady that I've ever met. She is sassy, and yeah, she came in, and and she is Latino, and so she has that little accent going on, and she was just like all prepared, and she was just like, she said, when I came to this class, she was just like, I saw that they was going to give a crochet class, and she's just like, and I was determined to get in the class. And I was just like, oh yeah. She was amped. Like, she gave me a whole entire family history of her and the crochet world. And so what I asked, I said, Emmy, when was the last time that you crocheted? She said, 5 years ago. And I was just like, okay. So in my mind, I was just like, okay, maybe she just needs a refresher. And I don't know where, like what stitches she had learned or whatever, but I'm telling you, she said, I am prepared. She broke out a notepad and a pen. Like, she was just like, teach. Like, she was ready. She was like, teach. So I was just like, okay, but she is such an amazing person. My heart, and I'm telling you, like, she's not scared. She is ready to jump in. I think Emmy says she's 89. Okay. Emmy was the second student that showed up. My first student that showed up, her name is Cheryl. And Cheryl got there probably like about 10-15 minutes early, and we talked. And Cheryl said the same thing. She knew how to make a chain. She had some experience. I think as far as she might have gotten is the single crochet, probably. I don't think she remembered the terminology, but she was telling me the story, and it kind of sat in my heart. Let me just get serious for a minute here. So, she was just like, yeah, I'm going to try. And, I really am interested. And she was one of the students. She was one of the students that got knocked to the June because all those other people took up a seat and did not show up. And so she was a little brokenhearted. Anyway, so I was just like, good. I'm so glad, that you're here. Sorry about that, blah, 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 yada. Anyway, she proceeds to tell this story that how when she tried to crochet, she had made a blanket. And if I'm correct, she was telling me that the blanket was supposed to be for someone's wedding gift. Well, she goes to the wedding or to the event, and someone else in her family could crochet. I don't know who it was, but they really were skilled in crocheting, and they presented their present first. It was a blanket, and she said the blanket was just absolutely amazing, beautiful, and everything, and stunning. And she said it was just perfect. And she said as soon as she saw that, she just kind of pushed hers aside. She didn't want to give the gift because she said that her sides were crooked, and she just felt like, okay, basically, in other words, okay, so now I done seen in her eyes, perfection, and I'm just going to pass this to this person. She didn't give the present. That right there, that was like my first conversation with her before everyone else came to the class. And I was really touched by it because I had to explain her, and it's never my, I never have an agenda, to start preaching to anyone or whatever, but I did feel compelled by the Spirit to explain to her, like, hey, this isn't, never feel like that again. Please don't ever feel like that again. And I explained to her that, hey, whatever happens in this class, whether you come out with a finished project or not, if you do come out with a finished project, don't expect it to be looking fantastic. And I said, and when I say fantastic, I mean, don't do the comparison game. I know how that feels. You guys know how that feel from when I became transparent with you, when Barb had passed and I said, I was dealing with something that you guys never knew, which is I was doing the comparison game. And I explained to her that, what God has for you is for you. If you crochet that, and I was trying to explain to her, like, yes, that other blanket may have been great. You don't know how many years. It may have been something that comes so natural to that person. I was just like, but if the person that you're gifting this to, you never know. They might even appreciate it more because the one thing that they're going to see and feel is the thought and the love that you put into it. Now, it depends on who the recipient is, because if the recipient is shallow, or they're one of those people that all of us creators, we've come across in the past where people be like, ooh, I don't like handmade stuff, or ooh, that kind of looks tacky. You know what I'm talking about. It just depends. And what I explained to her too, and I said, the next time that you create something, I don't care how bad it is. And I'm talking about her first piece as she's getting back into it. Save it. Save it. Save it. And be like, you know what? I created this, and if no one else wants it, then you hang on to it. I have a ton of, excuse me, I just got finished eating dinner. I have a ton of stuff that I've created in the past, and it was supposed to be a gift. And I know how she felt, because I got cold feet and I was just like, I can't give this to somebody. And that's the reason why I was telling her that, because I was speaking from past experience and I know how that feels. I couldn't really tell, like, maybe at the time, maybe because it happened years ago, maybe she was over it or whatever. So I wondered how she felt at that moment. And that's what I told. I said, and that goes for the class. And that's what I tell the class. I was like, you don't compare yourself to anybody in here, because I can give all of you guys the same pattern, the exact same pattern. And it does not matter. And all of y'all can be right-handed, all y'all can be left-handed, all y'all can be using the steak knife technique or whatever. Y'all can be using the same exact hook from the same maker. It does not matter. It will never look like the other person's. It will never, like all y'all together, your projects will never look alike. Why? Because you are creating it. That's what it means. It means customized. We're not an assembly line, so we're not all going to produce, like lot 203, 203, 203, 203. No, it's going to look like lot 203.1, lot 203 and a half. That's what it's going to look like. And I told them, I said, and I even got that from Crystal on Bag O' Day. I remember one time years ago when I don't know what pattern that I was doing for her. And she said that sometimes she would get emails and people would say, hey, can you recreate that? And I remember one time she said, if I tried to recreate something, it will never come out the way it did the first time. And she's absolutely right. She is absolutely right, because I have crocheted 2 shirts from Fiberflux. It's very simple. It's 2 big behind granny square panels, and then you put them together. I did that. I mean, and I did those shirts back to back. This is before I started my YouTube channel. I did them back to back. And when I look at them in my closet now, and when I put them on, okay, granted, yeah, the color's different, and that might have something to do with it, but it's not the same. It's not the same. So I'm telling y'all all that story because her story touched me. And Cheryl looks it was a little eerie because when I looked at Cheryl, I had to do a double take because I've never met Barb in person, but there is a picture that I have of Barb, and when I looked at Cheryl, the hair color, everything, I was just like, oh my God. And it was surreal. It was surreal. I've never heard Barb's voice, or anything like that, but it was the look at her. And I actually had to kind of, I told them the story, basically, of how I came to start teaching class, which I did not tell in the first class because of the way that kind of just came together. But I did tell them the story of how this came to be, and, how I felt like with all the yarn that I had received that I should do something very meaningful, right when I was going to stop. And I stopped, and I kind of looked to the side, and her face and her eyes and her hair. And I said, I couldn't believe I said that. I said, I'm trying not to look at you. I said, because you look like my friend that left. And it was the weirdest experience ever, and I had to catch myself because the tears welled up, and I think maybe one dropped, but then I hurry up and cleared up, and I was just like, but through her support, that's the reason why I'm here to teach you guys this class. Like, this class was totally different. I felt compelled. I felt compelled to share the story of why I had started doing this, where I didn't feel that in that first class. I mean, no offense. I know Andrea's probably looking. Jeanette might tune in. But there's something special about this class. It is something so special. And when I had that conversation with Andrea, as far as like her work, not Andrea, I'm sorry, Cheryl, I had this conversation with her before everybody else had arrived. I also was telling her, I forgot how we got off into it, but then she says, you don't have to worry. I am a believer. She's a believer in Christ. And so that also made me open up. So bam, there was that instant connection right there, because it was just like, okay, we're in sync. You and I are on the same page or whatever. And that's not to say for all my subscribers, who are of another faith. I do believe that I'm always in connection with people, who have deep spirituality, I hope I said that word right. But yeah, it was an instant connection, and it made me, and she was so serene, I just really loved her spirit. Now, yes, I did say there was 3, not counting Andrea. So class is about to start. It's 10:40. And now, we're into it. Both Emmy and Cheryl. I was just like, okay, this is how you do a chain. I saw a steak knife. I saw a pencil technique, one lefty, one right. And I was just like, okay. And they were doing their chains, just a couple of little spots. Man, their chains came out beautiful. Right? So I was just like, okay, these people, it was coming back to them. It was like riding a bike. So I was just like, we don't need to I'm not going to have them do what I did in the first class. I was just like, okay, y'all keep practicing y'all chain. Y'all go home After an hour, I had to send them home. And then I said, bring your chain back next week. These ladies, no, I was just like, I can't have them sit here and do this for an hour, a chain, because that's how it just came back to them. And so I was just like, oh, okay, so we're going to get to the single crochet today. So I was just like, okay, let's do the single crochet. Boom. That was it. That was it. So they are practicing their single crochet and they had already started. I mean, while they're doing their single crochet, and all I had to do was just remind them, teach them how to turn. So they were on it. And I mean, they were asking the general questions like, is it supposed to curl up like this? Yeah, the first 2-3 rows is going to be looking curly until you start making it grow, right? And they were already talking about, see, they're not coming out with dishcloths. They was just like, I don't want to do a dishcloth. Cheryl has decided that she wants to do a scarf because she's going somewhere, you know, I think next year or this year or something. She's like, you know what? Because first she said, I want to do a blanket. Then she said, I want to do a scarf. And I was just like, okay. Emmy was just like, I want to do a blanket. Cool, Emmy. So I would say 40, almost 45 minutes into the class, somebody's at the door. Here's a young girl. Now, okay, so Emmy's around 80, I think she said 80, she's somewhere in her late 80s. Cheryl is like my age, you know, a couple of years older than me. Here comes this person. I swear, Molly couldn't be no more. If Molly is 24, I would be like amazed. I would say Molly has to be a good 20 years old, if that, maybe 21, maybe. But you know, the older we get, everybody starts looking like babies. Here she comes with her little Coke can in her, and she goes, "Hi, I'm here for this crochet class." And there was no clock around, so I don't look at the clock or try to look at my wrist. And I was like, hey. And at this time, because Cheryl and Emmy they're just going, and then Andrea is doing her own little thing with the double crochet. I said, you know what? Yeah, I can bring her on in. I'm just going to sit down. Now, Molly was the only one out of my class who has never, for this round, who has not crocheted. I asked her. She's like, nope, never touched it. Not even a hook. So it was, you know, the basic, like, okay. Now, she is practicing her chain. She did not get to the single crochet, right? But you know what? I loved her honesty because I told all of them, I said, the one thing that you need for this class, this is the number one thing. You need patience. If you don't have patience, you're not going to make it. If y'all saying, Shani, did you tell them that? Yes, I did. Yeah, you need patience, and more so, you need patience with yourselves. And I was like, if you need to put the blinders on so you're not doing a comparison game, then do that. So I said, you need patience. I said, I know you want to get to the part where you just crochet. And Molly goes, yeah, I want to be there. I said, okay, slow down, my little microwave baby. That's what I call her. I said, you're a microwave generation. She said, what's that? And I said, oh, the microwave generation, or they want everything just like that. Everything just like that. They want a dinner that normally would make, be like 5 hours to cook, but they want it in 2 minutes. That's the microwave generation. Anybody that's just like, I don't want to work my way up to the top. I just want to come out of high school, not even college. I want to come out of high school and be CEO. That's a microwave generation. That is. So, she starts laughing, and of course, she was struggling. It's that whole psyche, like, what am I doing with this, how do I hold the yarn? What am I doing with this or whatever? And I just kind of let her, and she sat next to Emmy, and Emmy, like I said, that lady, man, she's just full of life and vigor, and I loved it. And she's just little, and she's just like, and every single time she asked me a question, I just love, because I was just like, well, Emmy, what do you think you should do? And she would go, I don't know, whatever you tell me. I was just like, no, Emmy, what do you think you should do? She's just like, You are my teacher, whatever you tell me. I said, oh, Emmy. And then she would do something. She'd be like, I am expert. I'm the expert in the class. I am expert. Y'all should look after me. Like, she is hilarious. So yeah, it was a beautiful thing to see, y'all. It was so beautiful because of the fact that you have this 20, basically a baby, has not been on this earth probably for not over 2 decades, but yeah, you have this person, this young person, and then you have someone who has lived life and still living life, and they're full of wisdom and they have a lot of knowledge, and they're sitting next to each other and they are feeding off of each other's energy. Like, I was just like, there was something in that room that day that was so beautiful because, not only is it a diverse class with different, cultures or races, it was the ages, the different age groups. And a lot of times when we have differences with people, when we all say, oh my God, well, you think it might be a race issue, you think it might be a culture issue, but you know what it is? 9 times out of 10, it's more so generational gaps, a generation gap. And when I see generations, come together, the old and the new, you know what I'm saying, come together, that to me is the best thing. It trumps everything. It trumps, racial divide, religious divide. Like, when those 2 ages come together, man, it's beautiful. And that's why I'm like, I am freaking psyched. I'm psyched for this class. Yo, I am feeling it, y'all. I am really, really feeling it. And I really needed that after those last 2 videos that I had to put out last week when I was disgusted with my job. God, this is what I sounded like last week, y'all. This is what I sounded like. Every time that somebody gets on my nerves, my friend, Anil, he gave me this. He's like, take this to work. And when somebody gets on your nerves and they come from your desk, just do this. See this? It's my little goat. Yes. Ruby hates that thing. Yes. Yeah, that's what I felt like last week. But then when I came to this class, man, my heart is just overflowing, full of life. Yes. And then they all said, you're a good teacher. We like you. So here's the kicker. So they were doing so good. Even though Molly came, she only had like 20 minutes left. And I was just like, okay, ladies, let's wrap it up. I was like, be here next week at 10:30. Class starts at 10:30, Molly. And she goes, that's how she said. She said, no, I thought the class started at 11. I'm like, no. And that's why I was like, oh yeah, 20-something-year-old. Bless her heart. So Cheryl wanted to go to Hobby Lobby. And I said, hey, because I was telling them, hey, if y'all already know what projects you want to do, okay, yeah, I provide yarn for like, the teaching of the stitches or whatever. And maybe if you have a little project, but if you're talking about scarves and blankets, then yeah, we need to go get y'all yarn. They're responsible for buying that yarn. And then Hobby Lobby happened to have yarn on sale for 30% off. So I was just like, yeah, now's the time to go. And somehow we all ended up, I said, well, who wants to go? And then everybody was like, I'll go. Only person that didn't go was Andrea, because Andrea be like, okay, I got other stuff to do. And that's fine. So we all met at Hobby Lobby, me, Emmy, Molly, and Cheryl. And I'm pretty sure other customers was like, what is going on? I know the people that worked at Hobby Lobby probably was just like, what's happening over here? I didn't know we held classes because I was in the aisle. I was in the aisles taking them through the aisles saying, this is like your acrylic yarn. This is how you read the label. This is the hook. This is how you know what size hook. No, read that. No, here's the US. Here's the UK. Like, you know, the little, you know, like whatever, you know, the verbiage on the yarn or whatever. And this is what you use this for. This is what you use that for or whatever. And we like shared, like I had like a basket. Emmy had got a cart, and everybody just started throwing their stuff. They was like, okay, I'm just going to use your cart. And it was just like, I was like, I'm holding a field trip. It was a field trip, y'all, on Saturday at Hobby Lobby. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So everybody bought yarn. And Molly, let me say, Molly, what did you say you want to make? I think, Molly wants to make a blanket as well. I know she has not gotten to the Saint Crochet, but I truly believe that when Molly is alone, you know how when you're alone, when you're getting instruction, you feel like the instructor watching you, you don't feel comfortable. But when you get alone, you start to perfect it. You know why? Because the tension is off of you, you know? And so, yeah, so she already picked out her thick, I think she got like the Chanel yarn or the terry cloth, that terry thick, what is that? Is that the size 7 jumbo? I don't like thick yarn, but she does, you know? And it was so funny because Molly was just like, oh, I like that yarn. I said, yeah, it's very trendy. I was just like, you'll see a lot of it on Pinterest, blah, blah, blah. And Emmy goes, she's just like, I don't like that. It's not refined. It's not what she said? It's not delicate. Yeah. She told Molly. So Molly looks at her and was just like, Emmy. She's like, oh, and what do you think is delicate? She points to like a size 4. What I'm saying is those two immediately have the chemistry. They have chemistry with those like it was just amazing. So anyway, yeah. So then Cheryl stayed behind, and me and Emmy and Molly, we left the store, and then Emmy wanted to get lunch, but brunch, but we all kind of had things to do, and it broke my little heart because I can tell that she's excited. She has found like a group of people to be around, and that is very important because if you and I are so lucky, you know, forget about luck, if we are even blessed to reach Emmy's age, we will want the same thing that she wanted. She's desiring, she needs that camaraderie, that fellowship, you know, and you could tell that she, in her mind, her face just said, I found friends and I'm not alone. And I so resonated with her personality right then and there, because I'm like, that is always one of the things I think about, being that I don't have a family, I don't have a husband, yet alone a boyfriend or whatever. It's just me and my little pet. You know, will I turn into some lonely lady, like cat lady or whatever, or rabbit lady, you know? And then you know, and I felt like I wanted to protect her, you know, like I was like, Emmy, grab your pocketbook. Like she just leave her pocketbook in the shopping cart on the other aisle or something. And she's a sweetheart. So we're going to have brunch after class this Saturday coming up. So yeah, that's how the class went. And Emmy was just so adorable because I said, well, Emmy, what color do you want to make your blanket? And she goes like this. She's just like, oh, I like pink. So I thought she really liked pink, right? I said, okay. So I take her to the part where all the pinks are, and she, I said, okay, well, what shade of pink? She says, anything you pick because you are my teacher. I was just like, no. Emmy, pick your own. And she was just like, do you know why I picked this? I picked pink because it has your name. Because I told them, like, if you can't remember Shine, just call me Pinky. And it was just like, she said, I wanted to be pink because it has your name. But then by the time we got halfway through the field trip, she was just like, I like this blue. So I think she ended up buying the pink and the blue. Anyway, yeah, that was that. So yeah, I am super psyched to get to Saturday's class because these ladies are blazing and they are on fire. Now, this is where the young generation comes in, because then when I get home, Miley sends me a text message and she's like, I created an online group. It's like hashtag meet. It's like one of the meetup groups, and she had already created it. And she was just like sending out the invitations or whatever. And I was just like, perfect. That's what I'm talking about. The young with the old, because I could tell they'll sit next to each other. I already see this. I already see it. I already see it unfolding in front of me. Emmy is going to mentor to Molly. I can tell it. And then Molly is going to look out for her, just like I want to look out for her. And there you go. That is now my new June crochet family. And I am just psyched. And if the other people don't show up, that's fine, whatever. But I'm going to tell you right now, the unit is already there. I forgot to turn off my notification. Oh, my battery is going low. Okay, let me hurry and wrap this up. So then, okay, so now since y'all know about that, what was I saying? Okay, in the beginning, I was just like, yeah, I'm going to come back to that or whatever. And I said, dang, why can't I remember? Okay, Shine, what was I talking about in the beginning? I was just like, oh! Do y'all realize this is the second year in a row? I missed my anniversary again. I started this channel May 27th, 2021. I missed last year's anniversary. Like, it was long after. I don't understand how that happened. And I did it again this year. I am probably the only YouTube creator, well, at least within the yarn community, my anniversary comes and goes and I forgot. I feel like I'm like, that's no way that it's only been 2 years. I feel like I've been on this doggone channel forever. I can only imagine how somebody like Crystal feel, or Mikey. I'm just like, geez, they probably feel like they've been on their channel since, the beginning of time or something. Yeah, I miss my anniversary, y'all. There's always something going on. I was so frustrated. Like, when I was like, wait, I missed my anniversary. That's what made me pick up the camera tonight. I said, dang it, I missed my anniversary. I was like this. There go. I don't know what's so freaking funny about that. Oh my God. Anyway, I missed my anniversary. So Pinky Hooks has been around a little bit over 2 years. I cannot believe this, yeah, I'm trying to make it. Y'all. And then to make matters funny, what did I say? Oh yeah, my friend has said, you got a crochet channel and you don't even crochet. And I'll be like, I do crochet. And I'm actually almost finished another shirt that I was making, and this shirt is super duper special because I'm almost done my first shirt with yarn from Barb's stash. So I was just like, oh my God, I can't wait. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that's everything, y'all. I just wanted to say and fill y'all in on how that class went. God is like super duper funny. He's funny. He's funny how, when we look at each other and we swear like, nah, I don't think that person's going to be my cup of tea, or I feel like they too old for me to hang out, or I feel like I'm too young to be in this crowd, or I feel like I'm this, I feel like I'm that. And let me tell you something, when people have good spirits within them, dwelling in them, it doesn't matter. They are going to naturally gel. Yes, they will. And that's the class that I have right now. And for them to not, clown me or whatever, to let me be in that moment when I broke down for a second, thinking about how this class came to be, why I am here to give my services, because someone believed in me enough, when I spoke about Barb, and I was like, oh my gosh, you better drop them tears. These people won't walk out. But they didn't. They understood. And I'm so happy. So I have something something else coming up behind the class that is too early to mention, but as it develops, when I feel like it's time to tell you guys, I will tell you. I don't know if I've been looking exactly at the camera because I feel like I'm looking at that yarn that's right here. So my eyes might be crossed. If they've been crossed this whole entire time, just keep looking at it and just hit the thumbs up. Like it anyway. Show me some support. Even if I look like cockeyed. But anyway, yeah. So I hope y'all had a good evening. Thank you for tuning in. I still crochet, folks. It's just extremely slow. Y'all take care of yourselves. Bye. Oh, community tab, community tab, community tab. Bye-bye.